Oh, oh my God. I can't stand to drive. Been on a 1,000-mile trip that ended yesterday evening. And wow. Hey, look! High-tech special effects, a lava lamp. I, uh, I packed up a few things, 99% clothing from the house. I mean, I wasn't on vacation. I spray painted the doors, the shutters, the mailbox, repainted the mailbox numbers, pressure washed everything, cleaned up the house, got everything out of there that wanted to take, which is basically just clothing. I wanted to make actually a video on field theory tonight, but I cannot do it because there's actually so much happening. And I knew this was going to happen right after the convention where, you know, old President Oatmeal Applesauce kind of stared into the monitor like this. Everybody knew it was doomed. They couldn't hide it anymore. And what I knew was going to happen then is happening. All reports are that President Oatmeal Applesauce is going to resign this weekend. Apparently there's probably going to be an announcement this Friday. Newsmax's Mark Halperin and multiple sources are saying that he's going to drop out of the race on Sunday. Not resign, and not importantly, endorse VP Harris. This is going to leave an opening for the DNC convention between multiple candidates. So we're going to have like a game show, apparently, except slightly more professional. Actually, I should say slightly less professional, where a running mate to Orange Man is going to be picked, selected. I don't know. You take your pick on that one. He is going to drop out this weekend. I don't know if the announcement is going to be made on Friday, but it's going to happen this weekend. Also, too, there was a report leaking out. I don't know who leaked it, but it's valid, that there was a lot of yelling and screaming inside of the White House, and apparently it's between Harris's peeps and Oatmeal Applesauce's peeps, and they're like butting heads. And the Dems, I don't care what side anybody's on. I'm always on the side of wisdom. I'm not on either side. Even the Dems are absolutely scared. The only thing they're more scared of than 4 more years of Oatmeal Applesauce is 4 years of Harris. I mean, they're absolutely scared to death. I don't think there's a Dem on earth that wants her in there, other than maybe her and like 5 other people that are working for her. Apparently the speech is already written. Said Oatmeal Applesauce is not going to endorse Harris, VP Harris. The decision was allegedly reached earlier today because of high-level pressure from Pelosi and other Dem donors. There's going to be an open convention to nominate somebody. Apparently this happened last time in 1968. Apparently, in the late 1960s. I don't know if it was 1968 or 1969. He will withdraw from the campaign, not resign. You know, that's a distinction without a difference, really. Well, I didn't resign, I withdrew. I mean, does anybody really care about that distinction? The announcement apparently will be made by 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, maybe, this Friday. With the final blow happening on Sunday. There's, oh, by the way, also too, Obama actually dropped the hammer on Oatmeal Applesauce today. His exact words were something like, "He needs to seriously consider." The hammer he dropped is basically as a fancy way of saying, "You got to step down, bruh. You can't run again." Of course, I know he never liked him to begin with. I know the things he said about him. But he's actually working his and other WEFR and Trilateral and other people's, I call them Hydra collectively. He's actually, the sock puppet of Hydra, but he's gotten so bad that they know that he hasn't got a chance. I mean, this is huge news. What happened on Saturday with the, towards the Orange Man, everything about that just absolutely reeks to high heaven. The head of the Secret Service, I know her name, I'm not going to mention her name. She said easily some of the most insane, illogical, irrational nonsense I've heard in a really, really long time. She's saying, well, the Secret Service agents were not on the roof of that building because it was a sloped roof. It was only very slightly sloped, and it was less sloped than the Secret Service agents that were like, 200 yards away. They were even on a more sloped roof. That's just absolutely radically absurd. I mean, I don't think anybody with 2 brain cells believes that. I've seen the video, which has been validated. People in the crowd were yelling, "Hey, there's a guy on the roof, there's a guy on the roof, look at that." And you could see the guy worming his way, wiggling like a snake or a worm on the roof there. They also, too, his father notified the police that earlier that day. The police, I don't know about the Secret Service agents, knew. There's video of him wandering around the crowd. Everything about this absolutely stinks to high heaven. You can draw your own conclusions, but I don't think there's anybody with 2 brain cells that would actually think this was kosher. I'm going to use the word kosher, not a word I use. I don't actually think I've ever seen the word kosher in Kentucky. You actually ask a typical Kentuckian what kosher is, they probably like, what's kosher? And just use the word in a generic sense. I mean, it just reeks to high heaven. By the way, China has called off arms control talks with the United States over the fact the United States is shipping tactical tools, I'm going to use the word tools, to Taiwan. China has cut off all arms control and nuclear non-proliferation talks with the United States because Washington's sales of exotic kinetic equipment to Taiwan. Chinese Foreign Ministry said yesterday, on Wednesday. Someone once said it doesn't matter who votes, rather who counts the votes. I'm not going to draw any conclusions about that statement. And it was Chairman Mao who said, which seems to harken back to what happened on Saturday, that all politics come out of the barrel of a... I'm not going to finish that word. That was Chairman Mao. You could go look up that quote. Chairman Mao said all politics come out of the barrel of a... Pew, pew, pew. It is really sad that people, of course, that's just human nature. They don't follow natural order. They want power over other people. They don't even have power or control over themselves, much less wisdom, but they want to have power and control over other people. The horror stories that I'm hearing coming out of Ireland, by the way, and I have to talk about this, I really do, because it's so bad. The horror stories, and I'm part Irish, that are coming out of Ireland are so bad that I can't even repeat them. And it's not just like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people that are telling me this, and I've actually reposted that to people that I know. Like, there's no way this is going to be true. It's just too there he goes! Look, it's moving! There we go! This is a large lava lamp. I remember it takes forever to kickstart it into gear. That's old-fashioned entertainment, Nobody today with an iPad, and I've got a few iPads. Generation iPad and Generation iPhone, they would never look at a lava lamp. Maybe they would. I don't know. I can't believe what's happening in Ireland. You thought Canada and Australia and New Zealand have fallen? Ireland. You really thought Irish were made out of tougher stuff. I could say that being part Irish myself. But it's so bad I literally can't say what's happening in Ireland. What's happening in Ireland is akin to that movie The Body Snatchers. Remember that? These alien seed pods, they duplicate human beings and they replace them while the human beings are in deep sleep. And then the real human beings in the morning are gone, essentially. And The new human beings that look 100% identical, but which are not the same, they're yeah, invasion of the body snatchers. There we go. That's except that's even worse than that. I know this is partially too happening in the UK, but uh, there's not that many Irish people that are all telling me this exact same story that are wrong, and none of this is getting reported on the news. Humanity is quite literally, and I mean this seriously, on a precipice. We're actually at a make or break moment. There are people who are ready, and there are people that have their heads firmly planted in a dark place. Those people that have their head in a dark place right now, dark and stinky place, you know, it's going to bite them. It's going to bite them in the boo-boo. I'll let you figure out where the boo-boo is. Going to bite them in the boo-boo. It's not funny at all. I did bring back a shell from my house in Florida. I brought back a few shells. I'm living it fully furnished. Man, I had one day off. I extended my trip for one day so I could take a day off on the beach, and I went to the beach, but because of the hurricane, which hit Texas, not Florida, but it washed up all the seaweed on the beach, and the whole beach just smelled super, super bad, the rotting seaweed that's on the beach. I beg of you, and some people have taken up this consideration and had deep thought about the validity of doing same. Get land. Take your children out of public schools where they're being brainwashed to become, fine little minions of the machine that they shouldn't be minions of. I went to Publix. Publix is kind of like Kroger's, except worse and more expensive. It's your typical grocery store in South Florida. Cheaper than that, of course, is Aldi's, which has garbage you don't really want to buy or eat. And then there's a Walmart, of course, which is really cheap, I went to Publix. And I was just in so much shock. I mean, way worse than Kroger's. I mean, Kroger's is bad enough. I just saw the prices, like grapes, $5 a pound, and, a pack of cheese was $6. Not expensive cheese, like shredded cheddar cheese. I walked in the mall just for a little exercise because it was raining that day towards the evening after I did a lot of work on the house. And that day I worked really hard. I took like 3 showers. I was just covered in muck from pressure washing the eaves of the house. And I went to get a coffee in the mall. It wasn't a Starbucks. I would never drink Starbucks, nasty burnt coffee. They wanted $9 for a coffee. I just wanted like a medium iced coffee. No, you can keep the coffee. Thanks anyway. Adios. I keep saying this, and I've said it many times. You ever notice this piece of wax looks like it's giving me the middle finger? I gotta turn this so you can see this. I don't know who it's giving the middle finger to, but I swear to God, the wax that's my lava lamp's giving me the middle finger. You can see that, right? Yeah, okay. Just so I'm not the only one that notices the lava lamp giving me the middle finger. It's just shocking. No wife, no kids, no house payment, no car payment. I've got hundreds of pounds in cold storage of stuff like this. Mung beans, these are alfalfa sprout seeds. I think this is like nearly 2-pound package. I don't know if you know how much food can be made out of this 2-pound package of alfalfa sprout seeds, but the answer is a lot. I beg of you, because soon money is going to be essentially worthless. It's becoming that way day and day. I'm begging you to consider getting some land. Make sure it's a wise purchase, Don't just buy land to buy land. I mean, that's dumb. Getting the kids out of public schools, having seeds, having other seeds that are meant for freedom. I'll let you figure out what freedom seeds are. Yeah. when this announcement gets made tomorrow, and or it doesn't get made tomorrow and he drops out this weekend, I wonder what you think the reaction to people is going to be. I never say people are going to start, crying bedlam and running in the streets over that. I mean, it may be a lot of people happy. You're given the illusion that you're in control depending on who you check the box for or pull the voting handle for. I'm sorry, but you're not. You're given the illusion of some type of control. If you really think somebody's going to turn back, the New World Order agenda that's being put in place, because oatmeal applesauce is just a sock puppet. It's not going to get rolled back. It's only going to increase. They just need a better sock puppet. This sock puppet is completely worn out for very, very obvious and blatant reasons. There's a meme that says things aren't getting worse, things are getting more obvious. And regarding him, I mean, the media that was covering up for him, I mean, you just can't cover it up anymore. It's more obvious. And now that it's obvious, they're all turning on him because they're working off the same agenda. Things are just, they really are ramping up. I'm not selling that house in Florida. And, after capital gains taxes and this tax and that fee and the other fee and, splitting the money essentially with my folks, I'm not really going to be really getting that much. But what do you think I'm actually selling the house in Florida for? I bought it for a whole lot less money in 2010. I'm selling it for substantially more than I paid for in 2010. I bought that after my wife died, but I'm not selling it because I love the house. And now that it's super cleaned up and super pretty, it was pretty and cleaned up before. I mean, now it's like, yeah, oh, it looks so nice. I really don't want to sell it. It's very comfortable down there at night. I mean, I have to sell it. You can't get insurance in Florida anymore. I don't know if you know about home insurance in Florida, but it's essentially impossible to get your hands on it. Everything just keeps ramping up. And I don't know what percentage of, I don't mean you folk, but I mean potentially you folk or other people. There's a whole lot, infinitely less actually, people saying, oh, you're just spreading fear. People used to do that when I started talking about this in 2019. That really doesn't occur anymore because people can see it. You have to be really, really, really blind not to recognize what's coming down the pike. You have a false illusion that you have some sort of control over what's going to happen or who's going to be, the head puppet positioned behind the desk in the Oval Office. But you're deluding yourself. What happened on Saturday was so blatantly corrupt that, you really have to be blind. I don't really want to draw any conclusions from that because if I do, people are going to go after me and, well, you said this and, it's just blatantly corrupt. I'll let you figure out what type of corruption it is. You make up your own decision. I'm not trying to influence anybody's opinion on that. The important thing is that when he steps down, oatmeal applesauce is not going to endorse Harris, which nobody wants her. Nobody. It's not because it's a her. It's because it's that her. It's just nobody, he has no experience, no predominant intellect whatsoever. I mean, does it really matter what sock puppet you put in there? If the agenda remains the same, does changing the sock puppet really change anything? And the answer, of course, is no. So, Obama threw him under the bus today. Go look that up. And he is going to step down this weekend. I knew this was going to happen. I knew right after the debate. What they're going to do is they're going to be a bunch of people scrambling around. They go, oh, it's so obvious now. I mean, they knew it. I knew it. You knew it. but it became obvious. That's what happened during the debate. It became blatantly obvious. Like, oh, we can't cover this up anymore. It's like covering up the. There's an ancient Chinese proverb. What is it? There's only three things you could hide for so long and not any longer: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Very, very wise ancient Chinese words, saying. I don't know if Confucius said that. I don't know who said it. I say prepare yourself. What very little money I'm going to get from the sale of the house, I'll let you take 1 or 2 or 3 guesses about where I'm going to put part of that. Actually, I had all that muck coming down on my head when I was pressure washing the eaves. You know, the black muck, you know, the black mold coming off the eaves. And, you know, I should have been wearing a face diaper when I was doing that. That's the one time you should have been wearing a face diaper. And I didn't. I don't have breathing difficulties, but I feel really run down. That 1,000-mile drive was just absolutely horrible. I had a really important field theory video to make today, but I was like, no. There's so much happening right now. And it is going to hit the fan very soon. It. And by it, I mean the SH. Which type of it is it? Someone, I think it's a movie line. It's the SH type of it. Not funny, really. His lava lamp is really slow. That's some high-tech special effects right there. Hope you appreciate that. I couldn't leave it down there. Anything I left in the house is I just have to write off. Like, I can't leave the lava lamp. Now, what else did I bring back? Just clothing, lava lamp, couple tools. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Tell me what you think. I read every comment. If I seem like I'm dragging, it's because I am. That long drive and the 7 days of working hard on the house just nearly obliterated me. Whew. Whew. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, I brought my radio back too. This is a shortwave AM FM radio. I really like it. They don't make good ones like this anymore. They don't. Thank you. Man, I am really, really run down. Man, it's going to hit this weekend when that happens. Apparently that's going to happen this weekend. What's your prediction for when that happens? Phew! Yeah, thanks. Oh God, I can barely move.